Ladies and gentlemen, I told you I was on to something. This is a meeting night, and so I can't stay on with you all because y'all don't deserve it. Well, what I'm trying to say is that I have better things to do. But anywho, what I need to let you guys know is I was on to something. I want you to pay attention to this. You're correct. Here are Supreme Court cases and Federal Circuit Court cases applying the Reves family resemblance test and securities classification principles supporting UCC Article 3, Section 102A and Article 8 statutory authority. Now, what are they saying? Well, let me just read it from this one. Those of y'all who got y'all computers, y'all pay attention. Y'all can see it. Anyway, conclusion. Every U.S. jurisdiction recognizes through its UCC adoption, that securities governed by Article 8, not Article 9, are excluded from Article 3 negotiable instrument treatment. Why? Article 3, Section 106A and B. There is another agreement that is attached. And because there's another agreement that's governing the pooling and servicing agreement, the Securities Act, such as the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, if there are other agreements involved and they are governing, they tell the people what they need to do in order to be a part of their program, then it is not a simple contract or an obligation to pay. Pay attention. I want you to pay attention. The Reeves family resemblance test establishes as a federal law. It's not a federal law. In 1990, it's a federal presumption. Has been consistently applied and recognized in state courts when interpreting parallel state securities laws provisions, as the Colorado Supreme Court stated in Wildman. There exists a clear trend among the state courts around the country in adopting the family resemblance test when a mortgage note is pooled in securitization trusts with a pooling and servicing agreement sold to investors through the SEC registered offerings, and investors purchase these certificates. In other words, if your property has a trustee and that trustee represents a pooling and servicing agreement and it has been placed into another trust for trading purposes, a mortgage, then back security, then it's a security. It's not a note. I don't know. Remember the song? Been saying it for years. So I need to pay attention. Now we have the cases. So what I'll do is I'll put this section right here. You are correct part. 'Cause we gotta have the you are correct part. Oh, man, it would not work. I had it do. It gave me 13. I wanted more, but we're gonna stop with the 13. You can take this and find the one for your state. Rulings from your state. This explains it. So we're on to something. Look, people have been trying to argue this, but you have to rebut the presumptions. You have to use the presumption killer. Now, look, somebody told me, well, I went to ChatGPT and it wasn't working. It kept giving me error message, error message, error message. Stop using ChatGPT. Man, look, they will get it. If they only have people going on there looking up, what type of dog do I got? I don't know. He's got gray hair and he's like 12 years old. If that's all ChatGPT wants, if that's all OpenAI want, let them have that. Stop using OpenAI. Use DeepSeek. Hey, you hear me? You heard me? Use DeepSeek. Stop using OpenAI. If OpenAI's ChatGPT wants to play games with you, stop using it. You're not asking it for legal advice. You see, that's that little stupid non-law stuff where you're asking for. I can't give legal advice. Why can't you? Where's the law that says you can't give legal advice? Go ahead. I dare y'all to find a law that says a person can't give legal advice. Go ahead. What? I'm gonna wait. Then you go talk to an attorney. Well, there's a statute. There's a what? There's a statute. I said, law, idiot. I didn't say nothing about no statute. Well, statutes are laws. No, they're not. They're evidence of a law. That there's a possibility of a law existing because they're prima facie evidence. That means they appear to be a law. Stupid more. Sorry, gentlemen. Having a conversation with people who are not even here. Imagine that. Because that's exactly the conversation I would have with such an idiot. Coming at me with statutes are laws. Statutes are not laws. Well, what about the statute at large? Those are not statutes, people. Those are enactments of Congress. Congress enacts the act and they create the statute at large. That's why statutes at large pay attention to this evidence of what the law is. They're not even law themselves, they're evidence of what the law is. The actual enactment of Congress. So, congressional act, congressional record, statute at large, and the Constitution. That's how you prove what is. Because you got to know the definition of is. Ain't that right, Bill? All right, gotta go. Hey, y'all take care. But like I said, we own something, ain't we? Own it for a while. I don't know why nobody else was not getting on it.